Welcome to The Time of Your Life, a show where I ask, what would you do if you won a $2 billion lottery? With me today, I've got Chelsea, a great pumpkin friend of mine. Let's get started. Chelsea, I'm gonna paint a picture in your mind for you, if that's all right. About a week ago, you're at the gas station, filling up your car, just taking care of some necessities. You saw a sign for a lottery, $2 billion jackpot. You normally wouldn't buy a lottery ticket, but you're feeling particularly spicy that day, and you said, let's try our luck. Let's see what happens. You go inside, you bought a lottery ticket. You checked it the next day, and you won $2 billion. You called a lawyer. You got all your finances in order. You went to the lottery office. You had everything taken care of, everything arranged. You got a call 10 minutes ago that the funds have settled in your bank account and you have $2 billion set to spend. What do you do first?
You mean after shitting myself?
So you, yeah. That's already happened. You've cleaned yourself up.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been thinking about this question for a long time because it was a little more than a week ago, I think, that you asked me to be on the podcast. And so this question's been running in my mind.
It's been marinating.
Yes.
You've had some time. Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't even watch, I was taking it seriously. I didn't even watch any of the other episodes so other people's opinions wouldn't influence mine. Exactly. Yeah. But thank you for the picture painted in my mind. That was very nice. And I would take all the money.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Well, I guess after paying off any loans that I have, I won't say how many I have, but
all paid off.
All paid off so that I have no financial obligations, right? And I'd invest it all of it.
All of it.
Every single bit of it, and try and make as much money as possible. Become like not a one-time billionaire. I want to be a billionaire forever, right?
Okay.
And so
you're dedicating your life to capitalism.
Exactly. I have a plan.
I'm excited to hear it.
So, you know how I think most people instinctually know this, but there's also studies about it. I can't quote any right now, but most people end up associating like dating, being friends with, working with people of a roughly the same socioeconomic status, right?
Sure. So
billionaires aren't going and hanging out like at the local bar or whatever.
No, unless it's a billionaire bar.
Unless it's
I'm sure they're out there.
There have to be. Exactly. We just don't know what they are. We can't go to those
maybe
bars.
You don't know where they are. I don't know.
You're holding out on me, David. Take me to the billionaire bar.
All the drinks are really expensive there because they're billionaires.
You think I can't afford it? Probably not. But $2 billion me could. And so I would slowly insert myself into this
the
social
high
circle.
Life of the rich and famous.
Exactly.
Or maybe just rich.
Just rich, yeah. Probably
well, how would you go about doing that? So the time right now is 6:09 p.m. We're in Ferndale, Michigan. What do you actually do
to get to that point?
Yeah.
So I assume it would be through the finance route.
Well, what's your first action?
Action to get a financial advisor / like investment advisor and try to get onto boards of various companies.
You want to be on boards?
I want to be on a company board.
Have you ever been on a company board?
I have no idea what's involved. I know they make some decisions. They meet a few times a year, and then that's kind of it. And they also get paid for it.
Yeah, I believe so. But I mean, that's dependent on making good decisions.
Well, is it though? Because it seems like,
I suppose,
I feel like some of them probably are just given these jobs. Yeah. Like, oh, you're really rich. It doesn't matter how you got the money if you just like kind of like
just get on some boards.
Right. I'd attempt to do this.
Okay, attempt some boards.
I have no idea if it's like
that's
actually possible. But I feel like if you have the money.
It definitely could be possible.
Right.
But I want to get into the details. Like, where specifically are you going to go first to try to rub elbows with these rich people, what's your avenue? Do you have people that you're going to call first? You've got your financial advisor. They're giving you investment advice. But like, where are you physically going to go? Are you going to operate off of your computer, do everything from home?
No, I need to be in person.
You need to be in person.
I need to be in person. It's all part of the plan. Have to be in person. I assume, as you know, a plebeian freaking 9 to 5 person, that they mostly reside in New York City, like Dubai, London.
Anywhere they want.
Right, anywhere they want. But it's like they're not going to choose frickin' Ferndale,
Hey, what's wrong with Ferndale?
I think the number of billionaires who live here are 0. But there's nothing that makes a Ferndale better, in my opinion. But that's, I think
we
I'd
don't
have
want
to
your
physically,
billions.
We don't want.
Keep it out. Stay away.
Because they aren't going to spend it like on, the frickin' local cafe. They're going to buy up some city block, make a bunch of housing that almost nobody can afford, and that makes everybody's taxes go up. And
I feel like a lot of billionaires, like, they may own homes, they may have residences, but they don't necessarily live in one spot. They're traveling to the best events. They got to go sit on all these boards that meet in different states, possibly different countries. They're taking meetings on private jets.
Yes.
It's a dynamic lifestyle. It's a moving lifestyle where you're not always just in one place.
Sounds exhausting.
It does sound exhausting. How are you going to fuel your adventures? How are you going to keep gas in the tank, so to speak?
Like the financial tank or my personal?
Your personal energetic tank.
Well, I assume I can afford some pretty nice food.
Yeah.
For me, a good meal energizes me a lot, even if, I'm physically tired.
Do you feel like you know what an ideal diet would be?
A lot of seafood.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I love seafood. I've never had anything I didn't like that came from the sea or the lake or the ocean or a stream.
What do you think your first meal would be?
Oysters.
Oysters? You like oysters?
Oh, my God. I fucking love oysters.
I've never had an oyster.
Really? I really, really, it's a love-hate thing. You either really like them or you're like, this is the most disgusting, slimy thing I've ever eaten.
I think I would like them a lot. The only issue is I'm vegetarian.
Oh, well.
And so oysters, they kind of ride a line. It's like, does it really have a brain? Do you really I suppose it's alive, but.
It's like a filter feeder. It doesn't really have consciousness or anything.
Who's to say?
It's true. It could. Maybe all of the oysters listening now are offended. And
I've also heard theories that plants are conscious also. So that kind of, just destroys any argument against eating conscious things.
Because then you just starve, right? Because if there's not plants left, can you survive on just rocks?
Fruit. I feel like fruit is the one thing that's pretty
it's a part of it. It's just the ovaries of a plant. Doesn't that make it worse? You're just eating. It is. It's the sex parts of plants.
When you put it that way, I think I want more of it. But there's something about oysters that it's like a texture thing, right? They're really slimy.
Yeah, I've heard people describe it like that. And honestly, I do understand that texture. But to me, it translates as very smooth and buttery.
What is the nutritious value of oysters? Do they have a lot of...
Well, they have a lot of the same things that seafood in general has. They have a lot of protein. I know I was trying to donate platelets once, and you have to have a certain level of hemoglobin. So hemoglobin. So you have to have a lot of iron in your blood, basically. Yeah. And so they have really high levels of iron. I wasn't eating oysters because I'm not that fancy. I was just eating more fish and stuff.
Have you ever tried durian?
No, I haven't, but I've seen it.
Durian is the fruit equivalent of oysters.
Really? I didn't know it was nutritious.
I don't know that it's nutritious, but just from...
it's
kind of gross. Yeah. Not, you either love it or you hate it. Mm-hmm. It smells weird, but it's got a really slimy texture that people,
It's slimy? I had no idea.
It's like a custard. It's goopy.
Oh,
You open up
weird.
this like big rock. It's like, this big spiky thing, and you crack it open, and it's like hollow inside, but filled with this like
Goop.
yeah,
Fruit goop.
it's almost like it's not quite like a pumpkin. It's more like goopy and less fibrous. So it's more like a custard almost.
Oh, weird. I have to look up a video afterwards now to go see the inside of a durian. But I've seen like it made into like shakes, not shakes, what's the word I'm looking for? Smoothies and stuff. And like, the smell was pretty strong, but when it's cold like that in a smoothie, I feel like smells are
they're
stronger
kind of
when they're heated
dampened.
up. Exactly, yeah. So I could have tried it, but I didn't. Smoothie was expensive. So
Would you try it again if you had the chance?
Yeah, sure.
There's another fruit, another exotic fruit called Rollinia, which most people haven't heard of. Like durian has kind of the bad publicity that everyone at least knows about it. Rollinia, I feel like no one knows about, but it's this really interesting exotic fruit that's soft on the exterior. It looks like almost like a big pine cone shape, but it's not. It's like soft. It's got these weird soft spikes to it, and it's got like almost like a bulb at the top that you pull out, and then it's like a bowl. And on the inside, it's this like custardy, like goop, and it's got seeds in it. But it's the sweetest goop you've ever tasted.
All these goop fruits.
Yeah, we started with oysters.
Yeah.
So that's your first meal.
It sounds like the other, what's it called again? The second goop fruit?
Rollinia?
Rollinia kind of sounds like a flaccid artichoke. Like
a little bit, yeah. But bigger, much bigger.
Oh, bigger than that.
Like,
okay.
It's the size of like a melon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, flaccid artichoke is a pretty good description. Never heard it described that way.
Well, you said like soft spikes.
Yeah.
So I probably could have chosen a better word than flaccid. I hope you don't get
that was a great
demonetized.
Word. That was a great word. I don't think I am monetized. No one is going to watch this.
No, I'm going to watch all the other episodes after.
I've got one release so far. I'll release this one in like probably a few weeks. I'm doing one a week.
Okay.
So you got oysters on the menu for your first meal. Is there a good spot for fresh oysters in Michigan?
No.
Are you going to travel?
They're not truly fresh, right? Like we can't. Like they might still be, they'll be freshly shucked.
So they don't have to be fresh.
No, I'd travel. I'd go to New Zealand.
Immediately?
Why not?
Yeah, if you want to.
Well, we got the money, yeah.
How are we going to get there?
Oh, that's not very eco-friendly, is it? Just jetting around all these places. Oh, I feel like
do you consider yourself to be an eco-friendly person?
Well, not in the current plan, am I? I'm like, okay, I'm going to win capitalism. It's not very eco-friendly.
You know what? Fuck the environment.
Exactly.
I'm going to dedicate my life to unsustainability.
That's exactly what I'm doing. There's probably, I feel like I could probably look and do some research and find farm somewhere that farms oysters in an eco-friendly manner.
Yeah.
Buy it from them and have it fresh. I don't know where that would be.
But you think with like a quick Google search, turn up that information for you?
Maybe.
Do you think it's at a restaurant, or do you think you're going to like a market in Hamtramck? I feel like that is where you find all the interesting foods.
Probably a market, yeah.
So you go to the market, you get some oysters.
Get some oysters. Definitely eat.
You eat them just like right in the grocery store? You take them somewhere?
No, I would pay someone else to shuck them for me, because I don't know how to shuck an oyster.
Is that a difficult process?
I think you have to, there's a learning curve. You have to learn how to do it, but I know that the oyster shell is pretty sharp, so you can actually hurt yourself if you... It's
dangerous.
Yeah. You can actually cut yourself. Danger food. Spicy seafood.
So you'd pay someone. Who are you going to pay?
I go to a market inside of, what's that bougie food market in...
Whole Foods?
No, but close. In Ann Arbor.
Plum Market?
Not Plum. Also close.
I don't know many places in Ann Arbor.
There's a...
but I can imagine most of the food places there are pretty bougie.
Yes. And so there's this little stall where you can buy fresh oysters and have them shucked for you. And I'll just like hand the guy behind the counter, okay, here's several $100, shuck my oysters.
What time you suppose that market closes?
Probably like 4 p.m., something ridiculous.
Well, it's 6 o'clock right now.
Oh, you mean right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm shucking them myself. Shit. I'm just going to have bloody hands. I'll just shuck them myself.
Well, you're going to go all the way to Ann Arbor? It's like 40 minutes from here.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I'd have to put them on ice, wouldn't I?
Well, it depends on where you want to eat them.
Well, I guess it's not going to be in the grocery store because I have to shuck them. They're not going to be very happy with me.
Just in the parking lot, shucking oysters.
Yeah, no. Oh, maybe I'd go to Belle Isle.
Oh, Belle Isle's nice.
That'd be like a nice little view.
Yeah.
Canada.
So you drive to Ann Arbor to go to this market. Mm-hmm. You buy a bunch of oysters. Do you buy anything else while you're there? Nah, you don't need anything to drink. You don't need anything else to snack on. You have everything you need.
No, I want to get my whole stomach filled with just oysters.
How do you think your stomach is going to feel about that?
I mean, I've done it before and it felt great.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I loved it. It was like, man, we should eat more.
So no issues with digestion. That's going to go down nice and easy.
I mean, it's just protein essentially. Oh, okay, I mean, it's like,
and it's already goopy. I mean, half the work's done.
You don't even have to chew.
Do people chew them? Like, how much do you get? Because are you supposed to like suck out the whole thing? You
slurp it. Yep. And a lot of people like will put lemon juice or some kind of sauce or whatever on there. And
do you like swallow them whole, or do you?
No, I chew.
Oh, so you do chew.
I don't think most people actually swallow them whole without chewing.
I was gonna say that'd be a lot.
Yeah, no, it's not like a freaking. It's not like somebody's standing there like chug, chug, chug. You don't. You're supposed
shuck. So you got some oysters.
Got some oysters.
Got
East and West Coast. I like both.
Oh,
depending on where you get them, they taste
different flavors.
Yeah, there's different flavors.
Is one like more salty?
Yeah, exactly. One tastes more like the sea, and one's more like milder, I guess.
So you're getting both because you like both.
I like both.
You get some lemons. You get some sauce. You're raw.
Just
raw oysters.
Raw oysters.
Way to live. You take them to Belle Isle. So that's like a 40-minute drive out, 40-minute drive back. You think you're like listening to music?
Oh, wait, no. If I'm going to Ann Arbor, then I'll probably just stay there and sit at the little bar they have. Because they have this cute little bar that you sit at the little seafood counter at this place. What the fuck is this market called in Ann Arbor? God damn.
The Ann Arbor Market.
I can't remember. It starts with a K.
Kmart?
No. And so I'd sit there.
How's the view?
Eat my oysters. Well, you're kind of looking at the storefront, like their little seafood market area.
Well, it's probably pretty nice if it's in Ann Arbor.
It is. It's cutesy.
Yeah.
It's a little crowded. It's like there's not a lot of room between the aisles, right? So if somebody's walking past with a big old cart and they...
Oh, and you're just sitting there like at the bar.
There. Right. So you might be in the way a little bit. I hope there's space at the bar, actually.
Are you
only
by
3
yourself?
seats.
Did you invite any friends to come eat oysters with you?
If any of my friends are billionaires.
So no, you're...
No. It's just me.
No new friends.
Also, I don't know anyone who likes oysters.
Really?
So, no, none of my friends like oysters.
Oh, wow.
I don't think... well, some of them, like you, don't eat them specifically. Right. And other people are like, no, I've had them. They're disgusting. And other people just aren't interested.
I know some people, I've got some friends that have friends that like oysters, and they tell me like they're all right and they'll eat them. Like if I had to find someone to go eat an oyster with me, I could do it pretty easily. I don't know if it would be someone that like loves oysters. I mean, you're here, so I guess.
Well, now you do.
Yeah, now I could. So you're sitting at the bar at the Kmart in Ann Arbor, belly full of oysters.
Yes.
Where do you go next?
It's
probably like 7:30 by now. Or maybe 8 o'clock. It took you a while to shuck those oysters.
Probably did. No, because I'm in that bar in Ann Arbor. I just handed the person behind there like $100 to shuck my oysters for me. Okay. So I've seen him do it. It's like they do it really quick. Yeah, master shuckers.
Shucks.
It's a really fun word to say. Shuck.
Yeah.
Shucking.
What the shuck? What the shuck are you talking about? Shut the shuck up.
Oh, I like that one. That one's good. That one's good. So it's 7:30. I'm gonna go to DTW, get on a flight, I'm gonna pick a city at random.
You're gonna get there, just look at the board.
Look at the board.
Is that something you can still do? Is it like behind security? I think you have to get your ticket first.
You have to get your ticket first, right? You can't look at the board before.
So how are you gonna decide?
I'm just gonna decide, like.
Do you have a globe or an atlas?
Just like do the like the frickin' dart.
Yeah,
at the wall thing.
or just spin it and like use your finger. We're going here.
No.
Oh wow, it's the ocean. 70% chance.
No, I'm gonna forward the agenda. I'm gonna go to a place where I think that there's gonna be like.
You're hunting for billionaires.
Exactly. I'm on the hunt. But I'm gonna try and like make connections, I guess, from somewhere. So if I have $2 billion, I can start my own sort of charity or company or whatever it is, right?
You sure could. That doesn't sound very capitalist of you.
No, it doesn't. But
people change.
If you invest enough in a company, you're like a really high percentage shareholder, right? Does that automatically make you a part of a board of a company? Some publicly traded thing?
If you own a majority stake of a company, you can make any decision you want.
Okay, cool.
You can take the company and you become the board.
I am the
yes,
company.
I am
the company now. So I'm gonna choose a company, go there, and just kind of schmooze.
Go there?
Yeah, to where the board is. Whenever. Well, maybe it's not today. I'd have to pick
what
a day.
company do you think has like a cool board full of billionaires that you want to
No, it might not be
hang
full
out
of billionaires.
with?
I might be the only billionaire.
Like what are you trying to get from these board members? Just like their company?
Right,
You just want to be around them?
I just want to be invited to the places that they go.
Okay.
And then hopefully over time, it'll just be like I'm a part of the inner circle, right, of ultra wealthy people.
Yeah, you get invited to all the different cult meetings.
The yachts.
Yeah, all the secret everything.
Right. And then I start secretly recording them.
Oh.
And the weird shit they say.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of it is illegal. Like, if you have that much money, they aren't really, it's like they don't even do
the rules
crimes.
Don't apply to the rich.
Exactly. It's just fees. It's just like, how much can I pay to do this thing?
Yeah.
But some of
Welcome
it, I'm sure.
to Babylon.
I'm sure some of it will be legal. It'll just be fucked up. They'll just have these terrible opinions.
Maybe. I was with some friends in Honolulu once, and we were going to a club in like the Chinatown district there, and parking was really difficult, and we were having like a tough time finding parking spots. And one of my friends just said like, "Oh, I'll pay the ticket. Just go park on the curb there. Like, doesn't matter." Like, I was like, "Really? Okay." It's like, pshaw. Fines? The rules do not apply. You got enough money.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
people do that.
That's the exact kind of stuff that I'm assuming will happen, but at a much worse level.
Yeah.
If you're like ultra wealthy, especially when they're in their inner
And so
circle.
you want to expose the wealthy?
Yes. So I'm going to record them, get as much data as humanly possible on as many people as possible.
Oh, Snowden.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going full supervillain here.
Yeah.
Like undercover. And
Well, is that supervillain? That sounds more like a hero to me.
well, I guess to them, to us, it's supervillain, but to the billionaires,
perspective,
they're
right?
like, yeah.
The spider and the fly. Who's in the right?
I'm a narc, essentially. I release the data, hopefully without exposing myself, but I'll release it to, a well-respected journal or,
Well, that could be
publication or
difficult.
something. It would.
I feel like.
It would, because how would I verify things without telling people like, oh, I'm
And
the one
also, where do you set your boundaries? Like, where do you set your line for getting yourself in? Because there's probably going to be some kind of like initiation, so they trust you. It's like, what rules are you going to break so that they trust you enough to invite you into the inner circle where they're doing the real nasty stuff?
Oh, that's a good point.
Like
I'll have to do some nasty stuff.
I feel like there's like work that like undercover cops do, and they'll be like in like deep cover where they're like undercover for years trying to bust these like whatever gangs, and they'll go and they'll like do cocaine with them and stuff like to get them to trust them, but it's all like part of the job. And
right.
It's, you know,
oh, will I have to do drugs? Dang it. Oh man. So any substances are fine. I think abuse of people. As long as I feel like I have a hold of myself. Yeah.
If you feel like it.
If I feel like it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, not today.
I mean, if I don't
want to be up all night. I offered you a coffee and you're like, I don't want to be up all night.
It's 6 p.m., dude. Who drinks coffee at 6 p.m.?
I do.
Oh my God. Is it decaffeinated? No, it's regular.
Yeah, French press.
I won't be able to do it.
I mean, I don't have to work in the morning. I work in the evening. So my sleep schedule is just like totally shifted. Right now, I woke up at like noon. This is like noon for me.
Oh, okay. Well, I start work at 9 a.m. So.
Yeah, that's a little different.
And also caffeine affects me kind of a lot. When I drink coffee regularly, I actually have to water it down because 1 cup will get me all jittery.
Really?
Yeah.
I have been drinking coffee for a long time. I worked at Starbucks for like 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And so I didn't drink coffee at all before I worked at Starbucks. And I started working there and, you know, I wanted to fit in and they were like, drink this coffee, you know, and like, okay. And before you know it, I was doing like quad espressos every day. I'm not that bad anymore. I'll still have like 1 cup a day. Mm-hmm. But it's strange because even though I've been drinking coffee for such a long time and I got a little bit like desensitized to it, it still does have that effect on me. Like it's still like the first cup I ever had. It's great.
That was my first job actually, was as a barista. Not at Starbucks. Not at Starbucks, but yeah, I started drinking coffee then. I always loved the smell of it growing up when my parents would make it, but then I tried it and I was like, this is bitter and terrible. And then I grew up liking it, of course.
You know, for a while, I was getting a bunch of BuzzFeed articles telling me that I was a psychopath because I guess if you drink black coffee and take cold showers, those are behaviors of psychopaths. And those are things that I do. And I know, right?
just slowly moving out of
Back
frame.
away.
I forgot it was a podcast, so people are listening, but just slowly moving out.
Yeah, I'll post the video too. For anyone who couldn't see, Chelsea was just slowly sliding away from me. But I ran into an issue at this place, at my new place, because I would always take cold showers after my jogs. My water gets hot like instantly, which for most people would not be a problem. Most people, I feel like it would be a good thing. But I turn on my shower and it's cold for like half a second and then it just immediately gets hot.
Like hot or like lukewarm?
Yeah, like I have to keep it on the lowest setting or it'll burn me.
Wow. Yeah, my current place is a little bit like that sometimes before we turn down our water heater and the whatever temperature it's set at. And yeah, it could actually burn you. It was way too hot. But I don't take cold showers. I'm not that.
It's fun. It wakes you up. It's like a nice little polar plunge. Start the day. Get the blood flowing.
I'd rather just sleep in a little bit longer and wake up naturally.
Well, that's an interesting question. So if you're a billionaire, what time would you be going to sleep? What time are you waking up?
I guess it depends on if I'm doing like, narc activities. Am I recording people? Then I'll just do what they do, right? Because I'm trying to
you're trying to immerse yourself in their lifestyle.
Exactly. If I'm on my own, then I'm going to bed.
Well, let's say it's still the first day. You got some
first day. Okay.
Yeah, you got a nice belly full of oysters. Today's a Thursday. Is there anything that you would do on a Thursday night? Would you go out? Would you, go home? Go call it an early night?
Well, I guess if I am winning capitalism, I don't really
need to sleep ever.
Well, no, I think you need to sleep, but I was going to say I don't need my 9 to 5 anymore.
Right.
So I don't have to wake up early.
Are you going to quit right away? Are you going to give any notice? How do you feel about your coworkers?
I like my job. I like my coworkers. I like my boss.
Do you feel like you would be leaving people stranded if you just like up and quit?
A little bit, yeah. I'd probably give 2 weeks notice.
Yeah. Okay, so let's fast forward 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. So I don't have a job anymore.
You work out your 2 weeks.
Right.
The whole time you can be spending researching, planning, booking whatever flights, all the logistics stuff. Mm-hmm. But meanwhile, you're working your 9 to 5.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, last day, what time do you go to bed?
If it's a regular weekday, I'm going to be boring and go to bed at 11.
11?
11.
It's quite reasonable.
Yes. If it's a week night, like not a weeknight, I'm sorry, if it's a weekend.
It's your choice, right? When do you want your last day to be?
My last day? That sounds so ominous.
Last day of work.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. I get to choose. I choose a Friday.
Okay, so Friday, clock out.
And I'd probably stay up, go dancing in Spotlight or something. I wouldn't even do, some cool city. I'd like to do, my celebration.
Go with what you know.
Right, my celebration in Detroit, like the home city, home base.
So we met on a dance floor several times.
Yes.
Initially at Theater Bazaar.
Yes.
I was holding a pumpkin. I thought I had a cute dance where I had a pumpkin and I held it above my head for just a long time. And it was a lot of fun. It might not make sense, but it was great. You had to be there. And then we ran into each other again at a Nonsense Night event.
Yeah, Tangent, yes.
At Tangent Gallery, yes. That was kind of not really a dancing event. There was a dance floor inside.
And most people weren't dancing. Most people were browsing and looking. And
it was also right around Halloween, so everyone was dressed up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I have a funny story about that event. Did you see the video that came out?
No.
So there was like an effigy burn?
Yes.
So there was a box, like really nice wooden box that everyone put notes in, and it could be something that you were trying to let go of, could be a loved one, someone you were like remembering, or like anything you wanted. You make a note, put it in this box. And at the end of the night, we burned the box, and everyone kind of like danced around the box, and there were some people that said some nice words. It was a really nice, touching event. And everyone is dressed up because it's Halloween. And so people are wearing like crazy, like ram's horns, like devil horns and robes and just ridiculous outfits. And there's a video of that whole thing that got recorded. And I showed it to a friend of mine, and he's like, "Oh, dude, you were at a cult." He's like, no. If you were there, you would understand. It was just like this cool party thing that we were doing. And he's like, "Dude, this is crazy. Like, where were you?" It's like, "Oh, no, it was Halloween, I swear." But watching it back, it does look like, oh, those people are doing some stuff.
And I think when you have that reaction, like, dude, you were in a cult, and you just say, no, you just had to be there. You had to be a part of it.
That reinforces it.
It absolutely makes it sound more culty.
It's not a cult. It's family.
We're much worse immediately. But yeah, that was really fun. And that night at Tangent is when I got your actual name.
Yeah,
because at Theater Bazaar,
I was just a pumpkin guy.
You were just pumpkin guy. Everybody who's been to theater knows you get lost so easily, and like people just like come in and out, and they come and go. And
Theater Bazaar, for those who don't know, Halloween party at the Masonic Temple where they decorate every inch of the place. There's like so many different stages, people performing, wandering performers, costume mandatory. Really cool event.
Super fun. I'm going to do it every year if I can.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not every year, every other year. So you don't get like bored of it. I don't want to.
I think it'd be tough. It'd be tough to get bored of.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll just keep
play
doing
it play it by year.
Exactly.
So we met at Theater Bazaar, dance floor.
Yep.
We met at Nonsense Night, and then we met again on the dance floor at the Big Pink club in Detroit, dance club. And where was I going with this? We were talking about dancing.
Spotlight. Friday night. My Friday night after.
Yeah, so Friday night you're going to Spotlight. Mm-hmm. So what I was going to say is, because I go dancing a lot, it seems like you go out dancing a lot. When you go enough times, you start to see kind of like the same community of people, the same people that go out dancing. If you were to go out on a random Friday night to a place like Spotlight, I feel like I could almost go there by myself and have friends there just because like it's that likely just because I know enough people.
Yeah.
Do you think you would have the same experience? Have you noticed that going places?
Oh, maybe. When I first moved to Detroit, definitely not. But then I met like a small community of people, and then I started going out with them more regularly and meeting their friends. I think I would see someone I've met before, but who I might not remember the name of. Oh, okay. I would have acquaintances, but I wouldn't have friends.
So if you see someone like that, are you the type of person to go say hi?
Yeah.
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 Be like, hey, I've seen you on some dance floors.
Unless they're, like making out with their squeeze or whatever.
Sure.
Then
hey, excuse me. I know you're having fun. Remember me?
Well, they will now for sure. Yeah, I think it's crazy how quickly you start to build that community because Detroit's really nice like that. It's, big city, but then
small communities.
Yeah.
Yeah, are very like specific communities. People who like to do stuff, do that stuff.
Yeah. And
so would you invite friends? Do you have like a group of friends that you go dancing with, or you just go by yourself, maybe run into people, maybe not?
It depends on the music.
Yeah.
I think if it's like techno or house, I have like a specific group of people. And then I know some friends who are really into funk. There's not a lot of funk I've found going on. So if
not a lot of funk.
Not a lot of funk stuff. So if anybody knows,
took up all the funk.
What?
Grizz. He's a Detroit guy.
Yeah. Were you at Grizmas? Oh, I'm sorry. This isn't a podcast.
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about whatever we want. No one's going to listen to this anyway. Maybe someday in the future, I'll get a huge audience and people go back and listen to my early episodes. So hello from the past. I hope everything's going all right in the future. What's it like? Anyways.
Have I infiltrated the billionaires?
Grizmas.
Oh yeah.
I went to yoga. There's like a yoga class. And I feel like I did one other thing this year because it's 12 days of Grizmas. He does like a different thing every day. That might have been the only one that I went to this year. I feel like there was another one, but maybe not. Were you at Grizmas?
I was not. I was feeling a little burnt out.
Oh,
so
yeah?
I just took the rest time and just kind of chilled. I wanted as little obligation as
For
possible.
all 12 days?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was just like family stuff and, some cooking. And I also didn't have any days off. I'd used up all my PTO. So
yeah, end of the year.
Yeah. But yeah, this year was kind of hard. So I was just trying to make it as easy, low key, and obligation free as possible.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I've gone in years in the past, and it's a good show. Always like any other big production, lots of shiny lasers and rainbows. And I like what Grizz does because he'll have like a live band a lot of the time.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's cool. But he'll still have like DJ elements to it. And of course, he always has his saxophone. It's a cool party.
Yeah, I like when they have actual instruments on stage.
Do you have like a favorite show that you've been to? Or a favorite artist? Or festival?
Well, the only music festival I've been to is Movement, actually. But I'm planning on doing Lakes of Fire this year.
Ooh. I mean, Lakes of Fire is not so much a music festival.
It's not. It's more like camping plus some music and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm calling it a festival in my head.
It's a festival.
It's a burn.
Yeah.
I'm going to a burn.
Regional burn.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yeah. And
that's your first time?
It'll be my first time at a burn. At any burn.
Yeah, I've only been to two. I went to Lakes of Fire and I went to Burning Man. And I've only been to both once. But wow.
Yeah.
They're great.
Are they?
Yeah.
I'm going to have a good time.
Do you have like a camp that you're camping with?
I know someone who has a camp and she's gone many years. And she told me about how you can volunteer and then you can get a ticket. But I think the way she explained it is you volunteer that year and then you get next year's ticket.
Right. Otherwise, there's like a lottery for it. You have to win the lottery.
Right. Well, no problem.
Check.
When I'm a 2 billionaire, I will just buy my way in. I'll buy the festival.
I don't know if you can do that with burns. Burns are like the one thing that like they're kind of sheltered from money. That was one of the first experiences I had when I went to Burning Man. There's like a post office there because it's a whole city. Like, you know, everything that you would find in a normal city, you could find in, you know, burning cities. And I went to the post office. There's like a post office set up and they're like, oh, do you want to send a letter anywhere? And I don't remember how the person did it, but they like held up a dollar bill and they're just like, I don't know if they burned it or they're just like, you see this? Useless. And they just like threw it and like, I mean, I don't think they just threw it away because littering is really frowned upon there, but they did something to just say like, this has no value here. Like it's not going to help you.
So you tried to use a dollar.
I don't think I did, but the person was like, look, try to use a dollar. Doesn't work. I was like, okay, cool. Like, thank you for that, I guess.
Demonstration.
Yeah.
And my friend did give me the lowdown on that, like how burns work. And, you know, it's the sort of not even barter culture. It's more like I'm
gifting.
doing this thing. Right. Yeah. It's gifting. I'm doing this thing because I want to.
Yeah.
You can repay me. You can't. You can do whatever.
Yeah. That's one of the most, like, one of my favorite things about Burning Man is the 10 principles that they have. And the regionals, of course, are generally based around the same 10 principles. And one of them is gifting. And the idea behind a gift is that it doesn't require anything in return. So, like, when you give someone a gift, you might not get anything back. Or you might get something really cool back. Or, you know, you never know.
Yeah. Like your sticker that you gave me at Theater Bazaar.
Yeah, I carry stickers around with me and I give out stickers. I want to get more like curated stickers, if that makes any sense, to like who I am. Because the stickers that I have now are just like some art that I made and it's a cool polar bear playing an accordion and it's cute. I was giving them out a lot for the holidays because I felt like it fit like winter season.
You need to make that Instagram handle bigger. Dude, I could not find it. So for Theater Bazaar, I had no idea what his name was. He was just Pumpkin Guy in my mind. And then I had the sticker, and I think you told me at Theater Bazaar, like, oh, my Instagram's on there. And I scoured the whole thing, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, well, the next one's, my Instagram handle will have to be bigger. For a while, I had a mustache. I had, like, a handlebar mustache. And I was getting a lot of compliments on it. Like,
really?
Every day. I was working as a host in a restaurant, and every day I would get like probably between 5 and 10 compliments. People like, oh, dude, cool mustache. And I was thinking about getting a sticker of a mustache. And then anytime someone complimented my mustache, that would be like the trigger. And I'd be like, oh, you like my mustache, do you? Here, have a sticker. And people would, what? I never got around to that one. And then I shaved the mustache. But like something like that, you know, I want to come up with something.
So when was this? When was this, the handlebar phase?
About a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll go through all sorts of phases. I've had a handlebar mustache maybe like 3 or 4 times in my life, where I'll usually grow out a beard first, and then I'll shave it into a mustache. And then it was getting pretty long. For a while, I wanted to go for like the Dali thing, like
the huge point.
But it's so inconvenient. It's just like not comfortable.
No, it's uncomfortable.
Having that hair on your face, and it's like if you don't wax it up, it like gets all like just
wow,
it's like scratchy and it itches, and it's like for a while it like irritated my mouth. I got these weird like little like because of the way that I was shaving, and it was like really long in one part and really short in another part. It would like scratch the side of my mouth, and I had to like use like lip balm to keep myself from getting like rashes. It was messed up.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. So that's why I usually keep it clean shaven when I'm feeling, I don't know.
Spicy.
Yeah. When I want to show the world what's what. I feel like people, like I love it, but people don't take me seriously when you have a handlebar mustache.
I can see that. Yeah.
It's kind of similar.
Same thing to like a crazy hair dye job. Like if you have unicorn hair or something. Yeah. Like people will compliment you. They'll love it, but you won't be serious.
Yeah. Same thing with juggling. I'm a really good juggler. And when people first find out you're a juggler, they're like, oh, wow, that's cool. And then if you keep juggling, they're like, dude, why are you so good at juggling? That's kind of weird. So I usually don't juggle anymore.
Oh, Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
I can't tell what my opinion would be if you were like doing really cool juggling.
Got some grapes here.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, you've already tainted my original opinion, right? Because now I can't say like, "Oh, dude, why are you so good at juggling?" Oh.
As it turns out, it's kind of hard to juggle grapes.
Maybe
they're too small. Maybe I just suck at juggling. So we're still kind of on like day 1, first week, second week. Mm-hmm. You're out at Spotlight. You drink while you're there? Do you?
I don't know. Even with $2 billion, the prices that bars charge for drinks still infuriates me.
$10 for a cocktail, $15.
Yeah. No, fuck that. Probably not. I'll probably pregame and
sneak in my own. I was a Lyft driver for a while, so that was like I told you, I've had a lot of jobs. Mm-hmm. I was a Lyft and Uber driver for a while, and I picked up this guy once who got kicked out of a club for sneaking in his own liquor. He had like a pint just like in his sock or something, and they caught him and they're like, "Dude, you can't have that in here," and they kicked him out. And he was like, "Yeah, I can afford the drinks, but like, I just think it's more exciting to bring in my own." Like, what?
Okay. You know, if you do that enough times, they like remember you and they're like, picture, "Don't come in here."
I feel like one time they'd probably remember you.
Like, probably.
Yeah. It depends on the place. I guess if I can remember how to speak, if it's a really busy place, then maybe like you could get lost in the crowd. But most places like aren't that busy.
Yeah. Plus, they usually have like I don't know how many. They can't have that many bouncers at the front door that they won't be like,
"Hey,
you're gonna get the same one eventually." Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sock liquor guy. Like it's they're gonna remember you.
Not welcome here. So you're not buying drinks at Spotlight because they're too expensive.
And I mean, not just.
Spotlight, is there an amount of money you could have? Like if you won capitalism, you play that game for a while. Is there a number where you would feel comfortable? Like, okay, I'll buy this $15 drink. I guess it doesn't really make a dent in my trillion.
It depends on the place. If it's a place that I know is opened recently by locals, they're trying to, make this new cool venue work, and it's, run well, they treat the employees well, blah, blah, blah. You hear good things about it, then yeah.
Word gets around.
Right. I'll buy the drink, but it won't be because I'm like, it'll be to support the place. It won't be because like, oh, I don't even care that this drink is $17.
Yeah.
It'll always.
And you don't feel that way about Spotlight?
I mean, I don't have $2 billion.
If you did.
But if I did, I like Spotlight, but I don't really know anything about it. Right. I don't know like who the owners are.
I even met the owner.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She was just there one day. I feel like people who own places are usually at their places if it's a cool, nice place like that. She was a nice woman, kind of older. She had a couple of dogs, I think, and so the dogs were running around. And someone said like, "Oh, those are the owner's dogs." And then the owner came out and they were like, "Hey, dogs!" Like a couple of pugs, I think. They're cute dogs. And she seemed nice. I didn't get to know her that well, but
I feel like it's easy to seem nice. I bet billionaires probably seem nice.
Everyone seems nice. What are you gonna do?
Right, exactly. No shade against the woman who owns Spotlight. I have no clue like who she is or what her whole story is. But
I feel like that's a road to like a deep paranoia. If like you can't trust anyone and you're just like everyone's faking it, how can no one's being genuine? Like how could you know?
Well, I mean, I think someone can have kind of shitty business practices and still seem nice in person, right? Like you have to look at the whole picture. Because, let's say...
so you, ask the employees?
Yeah, right. Ask the employees.
So do you like working here? What do you think they're going to say?
I don't know. I'd be like, how's your wages? Do you think you make a living wage?
If they're on the clock, they'll probably say whatever they have to keep their job.
Oh, if they're on the clock, I mean, are the bouncers at the front door worried about, being overheard or whatever. I'm not sure. I have no
I don't
idea.
know. I feel like, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was, like, I worked as a host in a restaurant, I was telling you, for a while. Eventually I got promoted to server, and then fuck that place. Anyways, like, I was not making a lot, but still, like, people would ask me sometimes, like, oh, do you like working here? Like, how is it working here? Oh, it's great. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the attitude in a restaurant versus like a club might be a little bit different.
Yeah. Clubs are a little more real.
Maybe. I'm not sure. Now I'm going to question every single interaction I have with any employee of a club too. But the example I'm thinking of is I met somebody in the community who lived and grew up in Mexican town who was talking about El Club and how the owner of El Club kind of has shitty business practices, doesn't really like treat the community super well, and hasn't always been the best in the past. And I don't remember the specific examples. It was a while ago. No. But so that's like an example of, oh, I won't buy a drink at El Club.
Sure.
Sort of thing.
So you got pretty high standards. I mean, I don't know anything about El Club that much. I've been there a long time ago, probably like 4 or 5 years ago was the last time I went there. But if you hear like one bad review, that can totally...
It depends on who the bad review is from and how expensive
so it was
is.
someone that you knew, or...
Right, and I knew that they were a part of the community there, and that they had a certain amount... I mean, this person could have been lying, right? Of course, they could have been.
Maybe they're trying to start their own club.
Oh, right. El Club rival across the street.
Yeah.
Well... they're doing a terrible job at advertising. I've heard nothing. And I guess you just have to, at a certain point, be like, well, I think they're probably correct. But I have no idea how to go online and verify any of that information, right? I mean, I can search.
I mean, everything
for it,
online is true, right?
All of it. Every single piece. That's why PR works so well.
Man, I'm so glad that we've got this safe, reliable resource like the internet, where we never have to question anything because it's all just, fed to us, and it's all truthful and genuine and reliable, and no one ever lies. It's great.
Sometimes it's exhausting going through reading a news article, and you're like, I better check the source of this.
I don't read news articles.
I do it sometimes. I don't do it often, but I'm like, I better check the freaking source of this. And it's like some random journal.
I saw a guy complaining online that he was trying to research coffee, and he found one study that coffee like improves your eyesight. And he found another study, and they were both from like some, I don't know, .edu or like one of those journals, like one of the like the scholarly searches. Yeah, you search on like .scholar or whatever, and it brings up, oh, this is from a university. And there was one study that was like, coffee improves vision. And there was another study that was like, coffee degrades vision. And he's like, I can't even drink a fucking cup of coffee without knowing if it's going to make me blind or not.
It's the shit like that makes me very tired of staying, informed, because I try to do it, and then it's like, well, am I really informed? Yeah. Did I just inform myself with misinformation?
Well, it gets even crazier. A friend of mine recommended this book to me called How Minds Change that I've been reading, and it sort of dives into this subject of like how we come up with our ideas and how our past experience can influence our interpretation of things, and just like really digging into the truth. And the example they use is like the dress. Do you know the dress?
Oh, the white versus blue.
The blue and black, or white and gold.
Yeah.
What did you see when you saw that? I was white and gold.
Shit, I don't even remember now.
I think I was white and gold, but then after a long time, if I kind of like squinted or did something, eventually I saw it both ways.
Wait, I'm just gonna look at it again because I don't honestly remember. I went and looked at the dress finally after hearing so much about it. I think I might have been blue and black.
But the point of this study is that like what is truth and what we receive in our minds are like don't always align. See, I like you just brought up on your phone, I see only white and gold. Because that's the one. And then that's it, like shaded differently so you can see both. Which is, and I think the crazy thing is the dress actually was blue and black.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like that, the real dress was blue and black, but because of the lighting, your mind like changes it.
Changes it. Yeah, I can see exactly why people would think it looks gold and white too.
Which one do you see first, like in this image?
Well, when I look at only the lighter part, I see blue. But then looking at both of them together.
Oh, yeah.
It's like when I isolate just the lighter color, I see blue.
You can do that just by looking at it, like without.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
But then when I like kind of zoom out a little bit and look at the whole thing, I'm like, oh, well, maybe it's gold. I think other people's opinions are also affecting me too.
Emperor, your new clothes are so wonderful. Wow, where did you get these precious robes?
I mean, also a lot of these images have been like the saturation.
Altered, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, what's real? I don't know. Spotlight has expensive drinks. That's the moral of the story.
Yes.
Sneak in your own liquor.
Yeah, I sneak it in my sock. No, no.
Well, is that something that you enjoy on a dance floor? Do you like drinking alcohol? Because like I don't even drink alcohol, so I go and I get like they've got tea, which is also way too expensive.
Yeah,
like the sparkling botanicals, I really like those. Like $7 for a non-alcoholic drink. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Yeah.
This cost me like 2 or 1 at the store.
They should just put
lavender cucumber.
A Kroger's right next to the Spotlight.
Flavored sparkling water with real lavender. Wow.
Well, I mean, they aren't going to advertise all of the fake lavender they put in.
Right, natural flavors.
I think it depends. I sometimes like drinking when it's like an experience, when you're sitting down at a nice bar and there's a fancy cocktail, like in a cool thing you've never had before. But just the drinking to get tipsy.
So you like a nice glass.
Right. I
like more than a martini glass. You want like, I know the big thing was like copper mugs. Like the Moscow Mule and the copper mug was like really hot for a long time. I went to a bar, like the bar that I go to for trivia. They'll have tiki drinks sometimes, and they come in little like tiki cups. Yeah.
I think I just want unique. I just want something I haven't had before.
Yeah.
So if I've had like a million of those copper mugs, I don't want that.
The brain craves novelty.
Yes.
Give me something new.
Like those ice bars. I know there's one in Vegas where you go in and it's basically in a giant refrigerator.
Whoa.
Like the tables are ice, the bar is ice, your glass is ice.
Sounds cold.
It's
I don't think I would like it. It sounds too cold.
Well, I mean, then you leave and you go out into Vegas like in 90 degree
okay.
air,
I guess in Vegas, yeah, that makes sense.
So I think it'd be cool to have like to
I went
drink
to the coldest bar the other day. You wouldn't believe it.
And I guess, well, you know how the whole you put your tongue on a freezing metal
your tongue
pole?
will stick to it? Yeah.
How do you drink the drink if it's all...
well...
Won't your tongue kind of stick to the ice a little bit?
Maybe the alcohol kind of like melts it.
Oh, yeah. Probably.
I feel like that would melt it too fast. There's probably...
I'm sure they figured it out.
Yeah, and if it has to be really cold for your tongue to stick to it.
Yeah,
because that like freezes the like your saliva. But if you just like touch it really quick, it doesn't.
That's true. Yeah.
And even like I've had that happen where like my lips will like stick to something. You can just kind of like pull it off, and it's not actually that big of a deal. All your worst childhood fears were, as a matter of fact, not like there's not quicksand everywhere. It's not going to matter.
I've never encountered quicksand once. I am kind of disappointed. I was so ready for quicksand, and it just never came.
You're studying, like you got how to get out, and just never happens. I think we're in the wrong part of the world. I think
for quicksand.
Yeah, I don't know where it is, but
it's not.
That's why I'm so scared of it, because I don't know where it is. Could be anywhere.
There were a lot of things like that, like the stop, drop, and roll. I've never accidentally been on fire.
I was terrified of super glue.
Oh, sticking yourself
like
together,
sticking like my fingers together.
Yeah.
But I've used super glue a lot, and like you can just pull your fingers apart.
You can.
Like you have to be really stupid to super glue. You have to be actively trying to super glue your fingers together.
Probably.
I have had super glue get stuck on my hand, and then it's just there for like a week. Mm-hmm. But to actually like glue yourself together that'd be pretty difficult. Maybe if you like fell asleep while you're like with the bottle in your hand. I don't know.
Sleepy crafting. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done it either.
Sleepy crafting?
Yeah. How else would you fall asleep with?
It's a perfect time to do it, right before you're going to bed, get out all the craft supplies, just a little drowsy. The dreams start coming in and you use that for inspiration. You kind of nod off for a little bit, wake yourself back up.
And then you're accidentally stuck together in like 8 places.
Oh,
because
no.
you have super glue.
No, I'm just thinking of like funny arrangements of like how you like what would be a really awkward place, like if your hand was just like on your heart or like on your chest and it's just like, why is your hand like that? Oh, this?
Well, you wouldn't be able to put
Super
anything
glue.
with sleeves on.
Yeah, that'd be
You
yeah.
have to wear like sleeveless tops the whole time. Well, I guess
You
you
can
could get away with not wearing any tops. Like I'd have to wear something.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
One where you're like accidentally flipping somebody off. Like if your fingers
If you-
somehow
all
you're just
other-
like stuck right there. Like that'd be very
That'd be rough.
I mean, it might be fine, but not if you have a job, that you go out and see people at.
Yeah, it would be inconvenient for sure. Be careful with super glue.
To all the dumb people out there.
Yeah. So spotlight, dancing.
Mm-hmm.
What time do you go to sleep?
It's a good question. I think because I've never done it, I would top the night off with going to Greektown.
You never been to Greektown?
I've never been to, the casino.
You don't want to go to Greektown.
No? What casino should I go to?
MGM. If you have to go to a casino, I mean, like, don't go to casinos, but MGM.
So you don't go, but MGM.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll go to MGM and like do a round of blackjack.
I think like Motor City's the worst, then Greektown. Greektown, like the strip is kind of cool. Like the restaurants and bars there.
Yeah.
It's
The area is
very
neat.
frat, like it feels like a frat party. It's
chains and like.
just like not cool, like bros.
I like it during winter because they decorate the area with.
It is
like,
really nice.
It's pretty.
It's pretty. Yeah.
It's cute.
Yeah. I feel it's all just like people that work at like Quicken Loans or Rocket Mortgage or
The bros. that
yeah,
were
all the
managing.
people who graduated from Michigan State. No offense to Michigan State, go work at Quicken Loans and then just go out in Greektown. But yeah, don't go. Don't go to a casino. What are you going to a casino for? Lose all your money? Play roulette? What's your game?
No, I just want to play a round of blackjack at a
single
casino.
round.
Yeah.
How much do you put on it?
I don't know. I don't want to be the person betting the most at the table.
You could. You definitely could.
I could, but I don't want to. I don't want to advertise them a billionaire. That's tacky.
Right. Except when you're hunting for other billionaires.
Except for other billionaires.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're looking around. If someone else places a really big bet, you're like, hey, are you secretly a billionaire?
I slip them my card that says billionaire.
Do you? Are you going to get cards made?
Oh.
Yeah,
maybe.
I've got stickers.
I think I'd make joke cards. Oh, maybe I should make a business card that looks very professional but is actually a sticker.
That would be. And I think I've seen some stickers like that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
business card stickers.
Yeah, it's cute.
Some.
But I mean, like, if you really picture it, and then like, where is it going to be stuck? Like,
Oh,
probably
yeah.
next to a lot of other stickers. I feel like there'll be like signs and just like random parking lots that get sort of designated as like the sticker sign, and you go and it's like, oh, that's all where all the sticker tags are. Like walls in certain bars will be like the sticker wall, and so usually they cluster together. You don't see a lot of lonely stickers.
Well, sometimes I see one on a stop sign randomly.
Yeah.
I feel like stop signs you'll have like.
People get creative with the ones they put on stop signs.
Yeah.
I feel like people are intentional with those, and it'll be like, stop. I know one I've seen is like, stop eating animals. I'm like, oh,
I've seen like hammer time.
oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Stop, drop and roll. I don't know.
Yeah. So after Spotlight.
Business cards. Are you getting business cards? So that you can hand them out to other people and be like, hey, I'm secretly a billionaire. I don't think you want that.
No, I don't. Because that's not like the
I've got-
billionaire agenda, right?
I want to show you this cool, here, I can grab it really quickly. this business card that someone gave to me once. Or I don't even know if you'd consider it a business card. I've got my sticker collection here. I've collected a lot of cool stickers over the years.
Oh, that's a lot. He's got like a whole pile of stickers.
Oh, I've got so many stickers. If you want to look at my stickers, you can. Some fun ones in there. Someone gave me this once as an invitation to a party. Mm-hmm. It just says unknown on it, and it's a black business card. And it's got like a little like radar thing. No other information. It's just a black business card, and it says unknown.
What?
And someone handed me this, and I was like, what is this? And he told me like, bring it to this bar, and that's your like key to get in.
Ooh,
like secret
cool.
entrance. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's really fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
I would want to do things that are fun. I mean, as a billionaire, are you going to be all serious or?
Well, for the first few years, I'm going to be serious until I expose a few of them, right? Oh. As the shitty, like tax evading people that they probably are. And then hopefully, you know, the public will be incensed, right? Their senators or representatives or whatever.
Do you think people will be like after you because of that?
Maybe. I'll probably have to hire a bodyguard or two or something, right?
Yeah. Would you ever like flee the country?
Yeah,
if you,
sure.
Like were fearing, what country would you go to? What if you had to live like just kind of indefinitely?
Indefinitely.
In another country.
Like, are we assuming any country will take me in?
If you got billions of dollars, I think any country will probably take you in.
Ooh, it's a good question. Because I want good hiking. I want good food.
Fresh oysters.
Fresh, yeah. It has to be. I think it has to have some kind of coastline.
Yeah.
Maybe Croatia.
Ooh.
I really want to go.
I've never been to Croatia. For a long time, I would put like ambient stuff. I've got a projector. I don't really watch a lot of TV or movies or anything like that, but I'll just project like ambient atmosphere. And there's on YouTube like Croatia drone footage, like 4K Croatia drone footage.
Yep.
And it's just like their coastline and their cities, and it looks so beautiful. Like I would watch that like almost not every night, but like pretty frequently to just like fall asleep, have it on my wall.
It looks so beautiful.
Yeah.
I really want to go, but I think that's the sort of place that I would go. Like, I don't really need to be in like a huge city. I don't need to be London or Paris or anything.
What language do they speak in Croatia?
I think it's Croatian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How, like, do you know what the population of Croatia is like?
It's pretty large. It's one of the bigger ones. It's not like, you know, Liechtenstein where it's super tiny. But I know the Croatians are generally leaving Croatia for other European countries in the EU. I don't think jobs are like the greatest there.
Oh yeah.
So I think people leave to go make more money elsewhere.
It's kind of more of like a destination.
Right. It's more like tourist destination-y sort of place. But
what's the place that has like the gondolas or the boats?
Oh, yeah.
Sicily?
No, it's in Italy. It's the one that's sinking into the sea slowly.
I feel like it starts with like a C or an S or something.
I know exactly what you're talking about. The mayor is very extra, and he held a funeral for his city. Yes. He did.
You can't see. I just rolled my eyes so dramatically.
Because at one point, the number of people in Venice, that's what it is.
Yeah, Venice.
And the number of people in Venice who lived there full time went down to such a low number that like it wasn't considered like a proper city or something anymore. So the vast majority of their population throughout the year are just tourists. So he held a funeral for his city.
Rest in peace, Venice.
Rip Venice.
Venice waits for you. So says Billy Joel. Or no, that's Vienna.
Oh, is it Vienna? I don't know what, but Billy
It's
Joel.
a song.
I mean, I assume, yes. I know of Billy Joel.
No, Venice. That'd be a cool place to go though.
Yeah, I would want to see it before it sinks into the ocean completely.
We know like the timeline on that?
It's probably the same timeline as most other low-lying areas like Florida
like
and
California.
Right. Well, I think lots of California is pretty mountainous, but
yeah, but like the coast.
The coast, right?
Yeah. So what's that, like 50 years, 100 years?
Yeah. I think
Our lifetime?
It's our lifetime, depending on how long you live.
Right. That's true. You could die tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, as a billionaire, I'm obviously going to live as long as possible.
One of my friends, I told him he has $1 billion now, and he's like, "Oh, my lifespan just dropped."
It did. Went like, down.
My life expectancy just plummeted.
That man's doing all the drugs.
Yeah, he did not feel very confident in his ability to take care of himself.
I'm a little.
But you think it's gonna totally expand your life?
Yeah, because I think it'll be a lot easier to not eat sugar, which is probably my worst habit right now.
Really?
I have a huge sweet tooth.
I love sugar.
I love sugar.
Do you think sugar is bad for you?
I think sugar is pretty bad for you. Yeah.
My sugar.
I mean, it's delicious, but I really don't think it's very good for you.
I mean, we need some.
You
right?
You don't really need any sugar. You don't need any, because you make sugars out of carbs.
Okay, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, yes, so you need
things that turn into sugar.
You need things that can turn into sugar, but you don't need like granulated sugar.
Well, that's something interesting that I noticed when I stopped drinking alcohol, because I think like most like alcoholic drinks get metabolized into sugar. Mm-hmm. I started having way more of a sweet tooth. Like I crave sugar a lot more when I gave up alcohol. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if the same thing happens.
I mean, I like carbs also.
I love carbs, yeah.
I ran the turkey trot in Detroit.
Oh, yeah, you told me.
There was a guy that had a shirt that said, "Pasta makes you fasta."
That's cute.
I still remember that one. But I think about it a lot. So sugar is bad. You'd have a tough time giving up sugar, or you think it would be easier if you had more money to give up sugar?
It'd be easier because I think healthy, like, food would be more interesting. It'd be easier to get interesting, healthy meals, right? Because when I get home, I work from home. So when I like put down my whatever I'm working on and I go into the kitchen, it's like, oh my God, I have to make dinner now and I'm already tired and I want to sit down and relax. Yeah. And it's just like, it'd be so much easier to like ask your private chef to be like, hey, whip me up something interesting.
Something interesting. Surprise my taste buds.
Yes.
My tongue desires novelty. We're looking for something to stimulate the senses here.
And make it bougie.
Yeah. Make it look like a swan is on my plate.
That'd be really cool.
A little avocado on a cucumber that's like cut into the shape of wings. And it's like, ooh, here comes the swan.
I was going to say, it's like you're a toddler and your mom's like cutting up hot dogs into shapes for you.
Here comes the airplane. Open wide.
I wonder how much I'd have to pay the chef to do the airplane for me. Just like, is that like extra? It's got to be extra.
Probably depends on the chef. Yeah. I had a circle of friends that would do that for a while. We were really into like feeding each other. It was like, I don't know, it was a weird thing.
I just had this circle of friends. We fight each other.
I mean, it was like on the beach and we would just all like go hang out on the beach and feed each other. It was
interesting.
Like, you had to be there.
But it's not a cult, I promise.
That one might have been. But it was like, I don't know, it was cool. I was there voluntarily. I think everyone was there voluntarily.
That's what the cult members always say.
You're free to leave at any time. Right? Yeah, great.
I'm not in the cult. I don't get it.
No. But you want your chef to feed you the swan, though, right?
No, actually, I think it'd be creepy. I think it'd be weird.
That? Okay.
And I think most people.
Do you think you'd eat it with a fork, or would they be like bite size?
No, it'd be finger food.
You have to cut them up. Finger food.
Yeah, I think it'd be finger food.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the kind of person who becomes a private chef and is like that dedicated to cooking and like really loves their job is probably not going to be okay with, and here comes the airplane. They're going to be like, this is degrading.
I don't know. It doesn't have to be.
Were any of your friends in your circle a chef? No.
I mean, I cook for myself.
Yeah, but are you a chef?
I did. I worked as line cook for a couple months at a German restaurant.
Oh, okay.
So I'm kind of. Yeah.
So if a billionaire was like, make me food as my private chef, and I want you to feed me.
And if I had like a commercial kitchen, yeah, I could whip something up.
And you had to airplane it all to him.
Yeah, I'm down for it. I'm here for it. Sure.
Okay. Well, I guess they do exist, but I don't know. It'd
be pretty rare. I'm a rare individual.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be tough to find. And it's the one thing about it that you realize after you do it for a while, it's pretty inefficient. Like you can't having someone else feed you. It's like when I'm feeding myself, it's like, okay, yeah, I can just take as much as I want. Right. When someone else is feeding you, it's like, come on, like get on with the next bite already.
I wouldn't know. I mean, technically we've all known as children.
Yeah,
we've just forgotten.
As a little baby.
Yeah. I'm sure I was probably impatient for food as a baby.
Yeah, I'm sure we all are as babies, yeah.
And adults. I mean, like you've experienced.
A lot of people. Yeah. I mean, I don't cry about it.
Maybe you should.
Get more food that way. Something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
So you're eating oysters. What do you think other kinds of ingredients or dishes your private chef is going to come up with? Are you going to be eating mostly like organic? I kind of got that vibe from you.
Honestly, I don't really care much about organic label because one, just like the news thing we were talking about, like how do you know if something's real or not? Lots of companies are greenwashing. So it's like they place a label on a thing that's called organic, but that doesn't mean it's sustainable. And like by what standards of organic? And does that mean it's better for you or for the environment? So I just kind of leave it up to the private chef mostly. Like they know their business, they know their job. And I guess eventually if you're with
you don't want sugar.
Right. I want as little sugar as possible.
Or like alternative desserts. Maybe you could come up with something interesting.
Yeah. I think a lot of
some kind of like grape.
Mango rice pudding thing.
But I mean, mangoes have a lot of sugar. Do you not count that as?
No, if it's in like a fruit. And it has the fiber, not the juice. Okay. Like the juice is just like straight up sugar.
Fruit juice is so good.
It is, but it's just straight up sugar. Yeah. It
has to have the fiber. So good.
It is. It is, but like if it doesn't have the fiber, then I mean it doesn't.
Okay,
count.
So fruit is okay. So mangoes,
And like if stuff like bread, if you look on the back of packages of bread, it's like, per slice it has 4 grams of sugar. I'm not worrying about 4 grams.
I mean, are you getting white bread, whole wheat, multigrain, pumpernickel?
There's pumpernickel. Yes, pumper, because it sounds like pumpkin.
Pumpernickel? I hardly know her nickel. Whoa.
That was
a stretch, yeah.
Yeah.
Brioche.
Oh, I love brioche.
Baguette.
I love brioche. I need a lot more brioche. It's very expensive, but
that's the one that's like woven, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or what's the other, like challah?
Yeah. Yep, that one too. They look very similar.
There's a lot of nice breads out there.
Yeah.
A friend of mine just posted some banana bread they made. Pretty good. Mm-hmm. Make like pumpkin bread.
I'm kind of infamous in my family about banana bread. When I was in high school, I don't remember. It might have been early college.
Were you in high school?
I was.
You graduated?
I did.
Good for you.
Yeah, and on time too.
Nice.
I know.
I had to go to summer school like twice.
I went to summer school to take nerd classes.
So you didn't have to go to summer school? You chose to go to summer school? Oh, Lord.
Yep, I took AP classes.
I mean, I took AP classes by the time I was like a senior. But.
Oh, which ones? Do you remember?
AP Physics.
Oh, you're smart.
AP, I think, like I took AP World History, I think.
Oh, I took
but I didn't take the exam for it. I didn't take the test. There's one other AP Stats, I think. I was kind of a math guy. But then I went to college and I tried to take calculus and I dropped out because I hated it. It was a 4-hour class and I didn't buy the book for it because the book was like $200. And I was like, I can get along without the book. I could not.
I mean, it's calculus. It's been around freaking.
Yeah, well, the guy Galileo discovered it when he was like 12, and I couldn't do it as a college student. So what does that say about me?
Well, no, I mean to say that, like, do you need a $400 textbook to learn calculus? I feel like you shouldn't. I feel like the requirement for that class was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I was in high school.
And you did something in high school.
And I did. And I made banana bread.
Yeah, you're infamous in your family for...
And then I took a nap and didn't set an alarm.
This is just like a one-time incident?
A one-time incident, but everybody brings it up. And
oh, no.
So I wake up. Or no, it was my mom wakes up and she's like, why does the whole house smell like banana bread? And she goes down and it's just this like lump of charcoal in the oven. And it doesn't look like banana bread. It's that far gone. It's that far gone. It's inedible. Complete the whole thing. You couldn't even like, I tried to take a really sharp serrated knife and cut through it. It was like sawing a log, like straight up camp.
So could you like clean the pan? Or
yeah, the pan was fine because I buttered it so well. I mean, it was.
It slid right out. I mean, it's hard as a rock, but it slid right out.
It did. And I mean, I'm kind of surprised it didn't smell terrible. It didn't. Yeah. There was some smoke in that oven.
It's probably just like really intense.
It was very intense banana bread smelling. And don't fall asleep while you're baking stuff in the oven.
When you're in high school, like, do you remember what grade?
I was probably a senior.
Oh, so this is
it wasn't
the point that you ought to be.
I should have known.
Yeah,
I should.
Had you made other banana breads that were successes?
All the time. Yeah, it was just like this one incident where I made a brick of charcoal instead by accident.
But when you've got a private chef, that won't be an issue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. We've been going for about an hour 20, a little longer. How you feeling?
I'm good. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the conclusion of the like.
Yeah, we didn't get very far.
Yeah, no.
You went out dancing.
I went out dancing.
You've got a lot of things plotted.
Yes.
You got a lot of things you're planning to do. A lot of ideas brewing in your head.
Yeah.
We can always, come back to a part 2 sometime. But if you want to have any closing remarks.
I don't want to be a billionaire forever. After.
I thought you said you wanted to dedicate your life to capitalism and be a billionaire forever.
Maybe forever was not
the right. You take that
back? Forever wasn't the right word.
Forever's not that long.
Until I expose them enough that people get angry enough that something changes. When we have like a little more, responsibility taken by companies for all the carbon they're putting in the air, and maybe a little bit better living wages, maybe people companies not buying up all the housing and then making rents really high, and doing something good for the world. And then I'll retire and be like, okay, give away all the billions. I'll just be regular millionaire and then buy a house and live in it.
Okay. Last question.
Yeah.
Where are you retiring to? Is your final house that you're going to buy and retire as a pauper of a millionaire?
Honestly, I think I'd like to just be in Detroit.
There you have it, everyone. Detroit, it's a pretty cool place to be. This has been the time of your life. Thanks, everyone.